Good morning and welcome to this interview on WTV. We have Sarah Adidi in the house, who is vying for the seat of the House of Representatives on the platform of the APC. She said she's going for the seat because she wants to serve the purpose of the women and actually push the cause of women. Sarah, you're welcome to this studio.
Thank you for having me.
It's been interesting watching you do the things men do, and you trust yourself into this field. What's the situation now? You're feeling?
Honestly, I feel good. It has been a difficult but rewarding journey so far. I have seen a lot of inroads. I've seen a lot of support from different groups, not just women, but across the FCT.
Okay, what's the motivation behind this seat so far?
Well, I've always known from a young age that I would enter politics.
Okay.
Even when I was young, when people would ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I always said I wanted to be the president of Nigeria. I think that it's something that is in me, and I have a passion for people, and I've always wanted to serve. And so that is kind of what motivated me to take this push at this time.
Okay, so what unique perspective are you bringing on board in this case? Because we've had a lot of women like you in the system.
So I think that both my academic and my professional careers have really helped and shaped me to stand out from the crowd. I've studied economics and I've worked in the development space for the past almost 15 years now. And I have had the opportunity to work across Africa and to understand governments, what works and what doesn't work. And that experience I am ready to bring to the Nigerian legislature.
Okay, this is the first time you're coming into the field of politics. So what experience will you say you've learned from this that is shaping you to go for it?
So I think that I am a person who has always, once I have something in mind to do, I will do it. And I will always go all in. I am a very determined person. And so when I felt the push kind of in my spirit to go on this journey, I felt that there was no better time like the present.
Oh, good. Okay, you've been talking advocating specifically for increased female representation.
Yes.
It's so important to you because you've been following your development. Why are you adopting that strategy instead of the general approach for everybody?
So, first of all, if elected by the grace of God, I, of course, would be a representative of everyone in the FCT, because obviously it's not just women that live here. However, statistics have shown that countries that have more women in government and in leadership positions fare better, because you can't sideline half of the population and expect true development. Every voice needs to be heard.
Okay. But if you must be aware of this perspective about the Nigerian women, that when they're in elective positions, it's always very difficult for them to justify why they should be there. You take the case of Senator Natasha, some other women, deputy governors and all of that, they had frictions with their bosses and all of that, that they rather cause trouble than solve problems. Why do you think your case is going to be different, that people should go for you?
So I think that's actually kind of a false narrative. We see women who are bold, and I think that is also a case of kind of the Nigerian culture. When a woman is outspoken or, self-assured, she now is labeled as difficult. And when we look at, the deputy governors, even at Senator Natasha, even in the face of opposition, of, resistance, they still put their people first. They still make sure that their constituents are well served. You can see that Senator Natasha is still doing a lot of constituency projects, and her people are behind her. So I think that is also a benefit of women in politics, because they make sure that they carry their people along. We're natural nurturers, and we always want to see the good of everybody. So that is why it's important for more women to be involved in governance.
Let's discuss that scandal, that controversy a little bit. did you ever put yourself in her shoes? Maybe you would have handled it differently. Did you ever think about that?
I mean, you know, as an outsider, I can't really say how the intricacies of the National Assembly work, because I mean, I'm not there yet, and I'm not in her shoes. I'm sure that she probably handled it the way that she felt was best. So, yeah, we'll leave it at that.
But personally, did you feel she received the support she needed from the women folks?
Well, it was a bit disheartening to see that, you know, there are only 4 women senators, and it didn't really seem like there was a lot of vocal support for her. But again, because I'm not there, I don't know the full extent. We only know what we see on TV and on the news. So, yeah.
You've been having advocacy, been meeting stakeholders. What have you been receiving?
I've been receiving very good feedback. I have seen that a lot of people are rallying around me, and even those that I have not met yet, I've even been hearing from other sources that they're ready to support me. So I'm very grateful to the people of FCT.
What about your political structure? You're new in the system. Where are you getting the backing from? Particularly the hawks in the APC, the party which you are vying to get this ticket?
Well, so far I have been receiving good support from the APC. The APC it actually prides itself on being a progressive, like the name suggests, and an inclusive party, especially for youth. So I have been receiving good support so far.
If you take a look at what's happening governance-wise, are you scared that even if you were to get the tickets, this may not resonate with the voters in the FCT? If you look at so much killings, bad economy, lots of shrinking political spaces against the opposition, are you scared that this might turn out to be something that to be difficult for you to surmount?
So I understand why people are a bit, I would say, hesitant towards APC because of, you know, the recent insecurity, cost of living. There have been a lot of challenges in the past few years. What I will say about APC is that despite what it looks like, I think that they generally do have the interest of the citizens at heart. I just think that there has been maybe a miscommunication in how they are putting out their accomplishments, their achievements. But I do know that they are still working very hard for the people and trying to ensure that a lot of these challenges that the Nigerian people are facing will be overcome in the near future.
They're not worried at all?
No.
Interesting. So, the monetization of the process, let's talk about it. So much money has been mentioned to buy the tickets, to canvass for votes. In fact, to get the delegates and all of that, you have to sort out the party leadership, to get the tickets and all of that. Is this a concern to you? Have you been able to express this feeling that there should be a change, or the women should be treated differently in a way that it's affordable to the women?
I mean, politics is expensive. It is very expensive. Even before I got into this race, I counted the cost because it's not easy. But for APC, they at least have been able to reduce the cost of forms for women and youth. So I'll be able to benefit from that. And yeah, so when it comes to the primaries, there's been a shift. Right, so this year they're going to direct primaries, either direct primaries or consensus. So it's not even a question of you're buying votes for anyone, because anybody who is a card-carrying member of APC can vote. So
in other words, the politics of getting the tickets should be between you or the particular experience and the party leadership. Is that what you're saying? So it's okay. So if you look at the representation in the FCT, what are the gaps that you see are so, manifesting that you feel you could tackle, that you are selling to those stakeholders, that you are the right person to go in there and tackle? What are those things?
So I don't want to disparage anyone. I think that anybody who gets into this seat, they try their best. But what I've been hearing, at least from my consultations at the grassroots level and everything, is that they feel that once the representatives get into power, they tend to forget the people who have helped them get there, meaning the grassroots level. So I think that there seems to be a bit of a disconnect between the leadership and the people. So that is one thing that I want to ensure FCT residents, that I am not that type of person. And I have been saying that as I continue to consult with stakeholders across the constituency. When I meet people, because I do have a heart for people and I enjoy meeting people, and I want to see the good of the FCT. So I make sure to carry everyone along, and even if elected, I will continue to do so.
One of the challenges confronting the original inhabitants that have been pushed to the fringes of the FCT is the fact that there's lack of inclusiveness. The health facilities in the areas that have been pushed to is zero, no access road, poor education.
Yes.
Do you think this area merits legislation if you were able to make it to the House?
Absolutely. Even looking at the needs, traveling through the constituency, I can see the level of inequality when it comes to infrastructure. Like you said, the educational systems, the primary healthcare centers on the outskirts of Buari and Amak, they're not the same as if you're looking, at Wuse and everything. So as part of my constituency projects, by the grace of God, I would definitely ensure that there'll be more funding and more support given to roads, electrification, and healthcare and education, just to kind of bridge that gap and to make sure that the constituency is as equitable as possible.
Okay. That sounds like your vision and the ultimate goals for the FCT.
Exactly.
The youth representation, by every standard, you are a youth still. So do you have any vision particularly targeting this youth in these areas to be able to bring them on board, skills and all of that? What do you have for them?
Absolutely. One thing I have noticed, even interacting with the youth of the FCT, is that they are so brilliant. They are so hardworking, but they just need opportunity. So I would love to, also as part of my constituency projects, to build skills development programs in areas that are relevant to today's job markets. So we're looking at ICT, even manual labor, the things that are really moving the economy forward, manufacturing, agriculture, and not only bringing those kind of skill development programs, but also linking up with the private sector so that they have opportunities for internships, for job placements after the training. Because it's one thing to have the training, but it's another thing to actually have job opportunities afterwards. So linking up with the private sector to support so that they will have somewhere to go after they receive the skills that they have acquired under my skills development programs. By God's grace, yes.
Well spoken. So you, among your team, you have the young ones, the youths that are represented in your campaign that are going about with you, right?
Yes.
Okay, in other words, you feel you feel directly from them what the needs are in this case. What of the young women, the girls? What sort of protection does it worry you that a lot of the girls are on the streets at night and looking for ends meet, as they say? Do you have a program that you want to actually move them away from the street or something?
So women, persons with disabilities, and youth are at the heart of what I would like to do as part of once I reach the legislature by God's grace.
Okay.
So yes, I want to ensure also, because women also seem to be left out of the job market as well, it's also about empowering them, speaking with them, figuring out what it is that they need as well, and I can tailor programs for them, how best to help them so that they don't feel like they have to resort to illicit means of livelihood.
Okay. But I still want you to address specifically the young ones who are on the streets, who stand on the streets at night. You know what I'm talking about? Yes. There was a time the past administrations actually designed some policies to be able to get them off the streets at night, because it endangers them and all of that. I want you to speak to that. What do you have to tackle that menace of the girls on the street at night?
So, okay, a lot of it also has to do with awareness. Speaking to them, letting them know that this is not their only option, their only resource, and giving them, I guess, how do I say, self-confidence and awareness of, you know, what it means to be a woman and how to carry yourself with dignity. And then once sorting out that kind of social aspect, then giving them job skills and job placement so that they can come off the streets.
So generally, what will you have to say to those who will be forming, those that will be delegate? There will be delegate that will be coming for the primary elections and all that. What message do you have for them to show that you're actually different and they will have to put their money where their mouth is?
Well, I would just say that I am someone who is sincere. I'm someone who is hardworking, and I have always been a person of excellence. So anything I find my hands to do, I will always do it excellently. And I'm bringing that spirit to the National Assembly. So by putting their hope in me, putting their support behind me, they would not be disappointed.
Okay. You should have another message for the women which you are so passionate about. What message do you have for the women folks?
My message to the women is to support me, because as Nigerian women, we still face so many difficulties in society. And I would be going to the National Assembly as their voice, to make sure that their voice is heard, to make sure that legislature that passes is beneficial to them, that would carry them along, and that would ultimately result in a fairer Nigeria.
Thank you so very much for coming to the studio. We've been speaking with Sarah Adidi, and she's advanced her programs and what the FCT stands to gain if she's able to make it to the House in 2027. First, she has to beat the male folks who are gunning for the tickets on the platform of the All Progressive Congress. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you so
very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
I wish you all the best, and I hope that we'll see you back here as a rep member.
Thank you, by God's grace.
Thank you.